I'm about to share with you a Google Shopping ad which I recently came across, which does roughly $83,607 per month in revenue just from Google Shopping ads alone. Now, I see a lot of Google Shopping ads all the time, but this ad specifically actually caught my attention because it's for an extremely boring product. But that is exactly what makes this ad so special and so unique. It was able to take this boring product and not only make me stop what I'm doing to look at it, but it's also able to generate just 6 figures per month from this product alone. And the product I'm referring to is actually this product right here, a 16-ounce plastic bottle. That's right, a plastic bottle. And if you already haven't kind of figured out which ad we're gonna talk about today, it's this one right here, right smack in the middle. Now, I don't have to really give an introduction as to why this ad actually popped out or just what's so unique about it, because right off the bat, first things first, if we look across at the competitors, we can see majority of these plastic bottles are, well, just that, plastic bottles. There's nothing extra, no kind of unique additions that any of these competitor brands have done to their plastic bottles. And as a result, every single one of these plastic bottles is simply bland and boring. But what this brand did right here is really kind of a pattern interrupt. Not only did it make this plastic bottle turn into something much more valuable and something much more with imagery, but it also was able to do it successfully. Now, before we dive into the actual strategy, how they did it, how you can use it for your brand, let's go over a few numbers. Now, if we go onto their brand and open up SimilarWeb, we can actually see that in total, on average, their website, this specific product page and this landing page as a whole, gets roughly 62,000 monthly visitors. Now, give or take, maybe 10-15,000 is off here because this is sort of the average. It's not always perfect, but even then, 40 to 60,000 monthly visitors is a huge amount for a brand like this that sells a very boring product, and also a brand which is not essentially ranking in the top 5 for that specific product. Now, if we scroll down, we can see about 56% is coming from search traffic. That just lets us know that a lot of it is coming from Google Ads. But if we just open up the calculator really quick and just to do a little bit of math, we can actually see just how many sales this brand is getting in total for products like these. Now, if we just take 60,000 into account and multiply that by a very simple conversion rate of 2%, so 0.02, that's roughly 1,200 sales a month for products like these. And if we just take an average order value of maybe $70 for this brand, that gives us roughly $84,000 per month in revenue from these kinds of products, which is a very good feat to achieve because, again, these are very simple, bland, and boring products. Now, going back to the actual shopping ad, let's go over the strategy and analyze it step by step so you can understand how this can be applied to your brand. Now, first things first, what caught personally my attention, it was not the product itself, it was not the title, nor was it the pricing or the reviews, which were good to begin with, but that just didn't catch my attention. What caught my attention was this simple product in use. This plastic bottle, even though it's a simple plastic bottle just like this one or this one, this brand actually showcased it in use, and they didn't just use some kind of bland colors within it. They didn't just fill it up with water or something very bland or boring. Instead, they filled it up with something like orange juice, and this was done so it could stand out from competitors and so it can actually pop out a little bit. And that's exactly what you want to be doing with your brand and for your product. It doesn't matter if you sell a simple red t-shirt, or it doesn't matter if you sell some kind of basketball or a home decoration piece, and a majority of your competitors do that as well. You can literally find anything to still stand out of the crowd, whether it be adding some sort of color to it, maybe in the background, or maybe just taking an approach where the product is in use. So if it's a basketball, for example, maybe you can showcase somebody holding that basketball. Just very simple things, which again, it goes against the grain. And the main goal here, the main strategy, is to cause a pattern interrupt. Because what happened here was, when I searched up this product, I was just looking for a normal plastic bottle, but suddenly my pattern, my kind of awareness, was interrupted by an ad which was beautifully done and had something very unique to it, a unique twist to it, which caused a pattern interrupt. So this essentially is where majority of the success this brand has been getting came from just having this unique product, which even though it's a plastic bottle, the perceived value is very high of this bottle. And that's why if you look at their pricing right here, it's $70, whereas I can get this plastic bottle for 21, this one for 66 cents, so on and so forth. But that's only one of the many things they did right. The next thing they did right is their product titles. Now, if we take a look at these other product titles, we can see that they're fairly well laid out. They're written with dashes, with certain characteristics about the product, how many ounces it is, what if it comes in cases or individually, etc. But this brand again decided to do it differently. Instead of adding these little dashes which these other brands have, this brand decided to add these lines, and it's a very small difference. It's a very small change. However, it's enough to again make you think of this brand as an authority, make you think of this brand as something that's higher than these other very similar brands to each other. And they made the title very simple, very straightforward, just 16-ounce square juice bottle, PET 160 count, and then they added a few more keywords in here by Merrimack Valley Plastic. So adding a little bit of authority by typing in specifically the name of the brand that made it as well. So it's all about having number one, SEO keywords, and number two, perceived value increasing words. Like for example, made by a specific brand, that's a perceived value increasing keyword. They could have also added things like premium or luxurious or sturdy or heavy duty. Those are all perceived value increasing keywords, but it's not always necessary, because the next thing that they did right was they had reviews. Now, I always say this, if majority of your brands or if all of your competitors have reviews, then it's actually a bad idea to have reviews. However, in this case, none of these competitors really have reviews, and the brand that has reviews is Temu, which is all the way in the back right here. So this was really a very smart move from this brand to actually end up adding reviews, and these reviews helped it stand out from everybody else, and also helps it get sales despite being more on the expensive side for a simple plastic bottle. But along with that, the final thing that they did right was just adding specific words in the background in the merchant center feed. And instead of just having these kinds of additions like how many ounces it is or what it is about, etc., what material, they actually just added the word liquid. That's it. And again, this might not seem like a good strategy in your eyes, but this was like a killer strategy, because this is again unique. This is different from everybody else. And although it's not really helping the algorithm know exactly what this product is, but again, this is done for the consumer in mind. This is not necessarily done for just the algorithm. So you need to be approaching it where you're doing number one, things for the algorithm, but also number two, things for the consumer reading your titles, looking at your ad, etc. But this is kind of the exact strategy we implement across the brands we work with under my agency, Your Marketing, which if you're currently doing $40,000 or more per month in revenue, you need just a little bit of extra help scaling your brand to the next level, go onto my website at yourmarketing.com and schedule a free call with me to see how we can essentially work together and make that happen. But I want you to check out this product testing strategy right here, which when you combine with a Google Shopping ad strategy like this, can really help you scale your brand to the very next level.